Some people track their lives by the cities they lived in or the people they dated. I measure mine in lesson plans and seating charts, teachers and classroom smells. Some were saints, some were mean, and some were just deeply weird. But they all carved something into me. Some left bruises, others left balm. And the best ones left something softer than either, a place to rest my head. It all started in Head Start with Teacher Fanny, a man from Africa with a smile so warm it felt like sunshine on your cheeks. He knew I was a few steps ahead of the other kids and treated me like my little mind was worth something. He taught me a few words in Swahili, and I told my mom I wanted to marry him. I was 4 years old. Proof right there. I've been gay since nap mats and apple juice boxes. Kindergarten brought Mrs. Gupta, who didn't so much teach me as she did witness. Like the first time I walked face first into a cactus and she just happened to be driving by. My babysitter, Lola, had to pluck the spines out of my right eye like she was pulling teeth from a porcupine. Painful? Yes, but also a weirdly accurate metaphor for early education. Accidental, messy, and endured with the help of strong women. In first grade, Mrs. Shoemaker made me believe in magic. Leprechauns, talking dinosaurs, and the power of imagination filled her classroom. She brought her Pomeranian to school regularly, and one day he took a crap in my bag. I forgave him instantly. That's how powerful she was. She could make a turd feel like a part of a learning experience. Then came second grade and Mrs. Muscovich, who told me I was in blackface when I came to school dressed as Steve Urkel. I wasn't. No makeup, just suspenders, glasses, and a love for TGIF television. She also made me stand up in front of the class and talk about my stepdad's death, like it was snack time conversation. I was mortified. Grief should never be a group project. Third grade was Miss Birch, a woman who thought being a good student was an act of rebellion. She once made me write, "I will not sigh in Miss Birch's class 500 times. 500! At least the cramps in my hand distracted me from the dull ache of being misunderstood. Fourth grade gave me Mr. Redding, who was like a one-man improv troupe with a lesson plan. He had a cardboard cutout named Mrs. E, who gossiped about us in chalkboard thought bubbles. He saw the leader in me and elected me for student government. He was the first to treat me not like a kid with potential, but a person already leading, just in miniature form. Fifth grade brought Mrs. Keller, who couldn't believe school was expected to continue during the O.J. Simpson trial. She'd pop in a VHS and disappear into her office to watch the courtroom unfold. On verdict day, she held a mock vote and promised pizza and ice cream to the majority. I was one of only 10 kids who voted innocent. Suddenly, there were two parties. Turns out even injustice has a workaround when dessert is involved. Sixth grade belonged to Mr. Acosta. Kind, funny, smart, and let's be honest, fine. I was just beginning to understand my attraction to boys, and Mr. Acosta was educational in ways he probably didn't intend. On a trip to White Sands, he got sand in his pants and, thinking no one was around, dropped them in the men's room to shake it all out. I was there. I saw it. Let's just say Mrs. Acosta was winning. Combine that with Coach Holgan's tiny shorts and swinging anatomy, and I spent most of that year sweating through puberty, like it was PE. 7th grade brought Mrs. Zong, who once dropped a vial of mercury during a science experiment. We played with it like it was glitter until she realized the hazard. Next thing I knew, we were all in the ER being triaged for potential poisoning. I fell asleep, and my classmates downgraded my color tags to black. Dead. My mom was not amused. But I thought it was hilarious. Science, baby. 8th grade was a low point with Mr. Crabtree, who mocked a student with crutches, and Mrs. Vasquez Vang, who read magazines while we taught ourselves from the board. But it also included Mr. Stump, my drama teacher from 7th to 9th grade. He drank in his car, assigned weird projects like fake watch commercials, and cast himself as the lead in our school play. Was he eccentric? Absolutely. But he let me be weird and excessive without apology, and that kind of freedom can be rare for a kid like me. In 9th grade, there was Mr. Reese, who didn't believe in evolution but taught biology surrounded by pickled creatures in jars. The most unsettling was a horse fetus that loomed behind my head like a silent, judgmental ghost. And Mr. Alvarez, my young Spanish teacher, who years later I met on gay.com, and well, let's just say it ended with me on my knees. He didn't remember me from class, but I remembered him. It was weird. It was dirty. It was closure. Then were the Christensens, my debate coaches. They dug into their own pockets to make sure my broke little self could go on a trip to Disneyland and a tournament. I've never forgotten that kind of love in action. It wasn't charity. It was belief. And belief from a teacher can change everything. 10th and 11th grade were shaped by Mr. Coleman, the teacher of the Christian group Home. He knew the trauma I was facing there. Conversion therapy, forced closeting, and did what he could to crack open a window. He assigned books with queer characters, made us to listen to David Sedaris on tape. He gave me a quiet way to be seen without putting a target on my back. He was a lifeline in khakis and cardigans. And finally, senior year at Hollywood High, Mrs. Gutierrez, a powerhouse with a voice like a rally cry, volunteered me to work on Ariana Huffington's gubernatorial campaign. She didn't ask permission. She just believed I could handle it. She opened the door and shoved me through it. She taught me that being capable is a responsibility and a compliment. Each of these teachers, good, bad, hilarious, traumatic, left something behind. Some left bruises, some left jokes, some left echoes, but the kind ones, their classrooms were pillows, not just soft, but supportive. Something to cry into, something to scream into, something to rest on when the world outside was too sharp. And in a life that often asked me to toughen up or disappear, their softness felt like the most radical kind of power.